Welcome back, guys. After nearly a month of break from War Thunder, I'm back with some ARB gameplay for a start. Flying the new CR-32 of the Italian Tech Tree. That's the normal reserve aircraft, not the premium one. I bought into the tech tree via the Fiat G55S. I haven't flown it yet, still waiting to get up the tree a bit higher, and maybe then I would fly the 55S a bit more. But this gameplay I will mostly show you to show off the newly buffed Italian caliber 50 machine guns, because they had the reputation of being one of the worst guns in the game regarding damage, and I want to show you that it's not the case anymore. So we'll skip ahead to some action, and here we are. I climbed up a bit to gain an advantage, or at least be on par with the planes that have a higher battle rating, like an HE-100 or Ki-43, or there was also the possibility to face Russians like Yak-1 or Lak-3, and those planes you just cannot catch. It's impossible if you don't have an altitude advantage. And as I made sure that no threat is really above me, I dive down to get some easy kills, hopefully. And CR-32, he's gone. And CR-33, he's also gone. Sniped his pilot. So 2 kills for a start in seconds. But I think this shows that the new caliber 50s definitely do a lot more damage. And even if they don't rip off a wing something instantly, at least you get crits now. Before that you didn't even get any crits on an aircraft. So that will also get you some assists, which will improve your RP gain a lot. So Italian aircraft are worthwhile now. At this point we have pretty much wiped out most of the enemy team. There's one CR-32 that's trying to fly away, but he won't be able to. And there's this HE-100 up there, which is a big threat because he's fastest plane in the match, and with the new machine gun buffs can also hurt us pretty badly. He will decide to fly away, and I will try to catch him. So let's skip forward a bit. The Ki-43 is a big help here as we approach his runway, and my hope is that he will engage in a fight with the Ki-43, and I will be there to maybe get to help the Ki-43 and bring the HE-100 down. Looking back if we will get any support, but it doesn't look like it. The rest of the team has no interest of climbing up here. And he's doing his move. Ki-43 awaits, and the HE-100 makes a mistake and turns in. And I got him. And that's this match. And here we are in a very quick match. I'm in the Regia 65, ground strike aircraft mostly. But it can also be used as a fighter with its air spawn. This would be a loss, mostly because I messed up. I'm gonna ram into a airplane wreck here. And our first kill. And such a kill wouldn't have been possible with the old machine guns. Just wouldn't have worked. And I got him, but I ran into his wreck. And that will completely cripple my flying ability of this plane. Because the right wing now has a lot of drag and doesn't produce any useful lift now. And I'm just trying to glide down and into the furbow and to see if I can get some easy kills before I go down. And there are several planes that are presenting us for to be a target, but they are maneuvering a bit too fast for me. But yeah, the BA-65 stalling out, and we light him up. And before we crash, we take another CR-32 with us. So that's only a quick showcase of the firepower of the Regia 65. Not really a showcase of its flight capabilities though. And to sum it up, a match in the Italian MC202, so the one that's in the Italian tech tree. It's the exact same plane, nothing is any different. Only difference now, the machine guns do damage. And I always choose this game because with this guy, with user 0303, 301, we were able to pull the game back, I would say. You will see later why. And we will skip forward a bit because I'm gonna climb for quite a while now. I'm now at altitude now, and I try to. At this point, I don't even know if this player up there has any clue what he's doing. But I try to assist him against the P-39. But as you can see in the kill counter, the enemy team pretty much annihilates most of our planes pretty much at the start. We also had a heavy disadvantage regarding fighters. We nearly only had bombers, like the new Kantz Z-1007, I-2 attackers, one BV-238, and AG-111, and this guy. It is a heavy fighter, but it doesn't count as a fighter in my opinion. So we only had 2 fighters and a real heavy fighter. Oh, 2 heavy fighters, BF-110, and that's it. So we are at a very big disadvantage at this point. So the P-39 just ducks away and dives down to get help from his teammates, because alone he doesn't really have a chance up here. And now we have to guess, where are all the enemies, where can we dive down, can we be sure that we are not getting attacked while fighting someone down low. And I tried to dive down to spot the enemy, also for my teammate. I think he pretty much has the same idea. And we spot a bunch of enemies down there, and I decide to zoom back up. I wasn't sure if I should attack the A20, but I still have a lot of respect of its backwards facing 12.7mm armament, so I decide against it and try to assist the 202. But there are also planes below me, so I decide, well, the 202 has still a lot of speed, so he can handle on its own. And the A20 trying to be greedy and shoot down the HS-129 crashes into the ground. Get a crit on the P-40. See the F4 coming in, see the P-39 coming in. P-39 has a lot more speed. And I try to turn into the P-39, make a negative G maneuver, so he can't really align on me. And then I continue on. Fly a bit away to get a bit of breathing space, and then I decide to help the 202. P-39 trying to go in a head-on. I duck out of the way. Get another crit on the P-40, but he doesn't go down yet. But the P-40 isn't really my number one target here. P-39 is much more dangerous and much more powerful. Get a crit on the P-39. P-40 can't pull up on me. And now the P-39 has done a big mistake and nearly stalled out here. And my teammate finishes up the P-40. So we only have 2 fighters, and we just erased 3 of them in a couple of minutes here. With very good teamwork, I have to say. Kudos to this guy here. Now we are getting chased by this F4U back there, and I don't have any interest in fighting him at this point, because he has a lot more altitude and is also faster. It doesn't look like this at this point, but he is. And his armament is better, and he's more maneuverable. Luckily, he decides to fly off, and I think he goes to refuel his plane at this point and rearm. Maybe he used up a lot of his ammunition to shoot our bombers down, like the BB-238. You can use up a lot of ammo there, even though it's an American plane and with a bunch of ammunition. At this point I tell the other 202 player that I will stay up high and guard his refuel and rearming. Because if we landed both at this point, we probably would have died, because the enemy would be able to set up an ambush position, and once we take off of the runway and are low and slow, then they can dive on us easily. At this point I know that they have 3 aircraft, one is an F4, one is a Spitfire, that's this guy here, saw him earlier in the match. But I still have no idea what this Boston guy is flying. So I think that we have a possibility of facing 3 fighters here. We don't know it yet. Back over there, maybe you can see it. That's a fighter coming in, and I try to turn behind him and surprise him. Because I have the, in my opinion, he tried to spot us on the runway, and my teammate is down there, and so he will definitely fly over to the airfield, and I try to swing back and get behind this guy. And it will turn out that he definitely has no idea that I'm here. And that will give me a chance to take him down. I'm still looking around to check if he has any support, but it doesn't look like it, so I give chase. I think now he has spotted me too. I'm not sure, I think he has. You can see now that he's heavily maneuvering to attack me. But he will make a mistake that he goes head on, ducks out of the head on, and doesn't continue it. And doesn't really fully pull out of it either. So that's one of the worst things that you can do. Make a head on, pull out of the head on, but not quite, and still continue flying towards the enemy. And if the enemy has a decent aim and the plane is a bit more responsive, you're bringing you in a lot of danger. Some weeks ago, a head-on like this would never have been possible with the 202, because the guns would just spark off the airframe of the Spitfire, and you would have no chance of killing him. Now the 129 is still is going again to hunt the ground targets, which is good for us, because having a points lead in the ground target department gives you the option to play with time, and the enemy have to do something against the 129, otherwise they will just use ground units, which can force them down a bit, and you have the chance to dive in from above and kill them. Now the SB2C comes along. At least now we know what this player is flying. And he's going for the ground units, as he probably should in his plane. I'm still a bit hesitant to fully dive down, because I don't know if the Corsair will come back. But at this point I decided to go for it, because the 202 of my teammate is fast, but the SB2C is more maneuverable and can outturn you easily, and it also has 20mm cannons, so very, very dangerous. And with my attack run I will also, as you will see, take a very, very big risk. I attack it, make it a crit, And then I continue through, and as we will see, the SP2C definitely wants wants me and goes after me. But my old trusty teammate here takes the opportunity of his completely stalled out plane to annihilate him. Looking around, check the area, and I decide to fly towards the enemy base, roughly, at least. Because I think that if the Corsair had the idea to land and refuel and rearm, then he probably would be on his way towards us. And as maybe you can see it over there, there's a dark point in the distance, and it is the Corsair. And again, my teammate stays close to me, but doesn't really take the same flight path when we engage him. So the Corsair has to choose, and the other one will have the opportunity to get behind him. I try to get behind him, so maybe he will try to climb up above me, which he won't be able to. Then I fake a head-on, pull out of it, then roll over, turn in, and then just continue straight, because I won't be able to turn with the Corsair. And my Tier 2 colleague here, he finishes it off. So a very good game for him. It's still a decent match for me. But all in all, this whole teamwork thing with a random player here definitely got us the match. And even with all the fighters the enemy team had, they couldn't fight real teamwork here.